Let's see. Peace, King. How you feeling?
Peace. Can you hear me, brother?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, good. Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm doing excellent, brother Ty. How you doing?
All is well. All is well. I gotta thank you again. It's truly an honor, first and foremost, for coming on the platform.
Oh, no doubt, brother. It's my pleasure, my honor, brother. It's all good.
Most definitely. Okay. So for the viewers who may not know who you are, let them know what your name is and let them know where you're from.
Well, Kaba Hiawatha Kamene, basically, I'm an educator. Um, Worked in South Central Bronx, New York, 31 years educating. I do staff development and curriculum writing. I've written 3 books, and I do webinars, which are quick webinars, teaching our community educational methodologies. And then I do webinars that teach the content of the materials of what we need to know. There's a difference between what you teach and how you teach. And I've developed webinars to teach how to teach, and I've developed webinars to teach what to teach. And so what I do is I reach out to the community, particularly focusing on our children, on how to educate them and the importance of understanding the role of culture. I've repeat what Dr. Wade Noble says frequently, water is to a fish as culture is to a human. You live in it.
Man, most definitely. I gotta thank you again. You done contributed so much, man. You done inspired and influenced so many people. And more importantly, like you say, the babies, the children, man, they need it the most definitely. 30 years, man. Some people don't work a job that long.
Oh
And you've been
man. And that's just with
educating.
the Board of Ed, brother Ty. You know, that's just with the Board of Ed because I taught college for 14 years and I do consultant work now. So I've never stopped educating, but my formal job was 31 years New York City Board of Ed. I've taught every grade and I've taught every subject. And I
Wow.
purposely did that to be able to get to the babies and to understand how to form. Because
Oh,
sometimes,
yeah.
brother, as you know, as you mature, you buy into the system more, and it's hard to break away
Definitely.
from. But when you can get them when they're 4 and 5 years of age, brother, you can get some knowledge in them that they can battle the demons as they mature.
Most definitely. I think Frederick Douglass, he got a quote. What he say is, it's easier to raise strong children than it is to repair broken men. So
Yeah,
that's definitely true. I
it's
can
true. And
attest to that.
brother Ty, remember another thing that Frederick Douglass said. He said the very best thing that ever happened to him was the very worst thing that ever happened to him. He said the best thing that ever happened to him was when he learned how to read. The worst thing that ever happened to him is once he learned how to read, he came to figure out the position he found himself in. Because when you have knowledge, then you know. Even if the tide isn't going in your favor, you know what you're experiencing. But
Oh
when you
yeah,
don't,
oh yeah.
and you see, I
And,
know, I
mhm,
understand what he meant by that, brother Ty, for in
mhm.
terms of you and in terms of me. Because once we started reading, once we started learning, now we on StreamYard talking to each other.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And that's a
I
dangerous
mean,
thing to certain people.
oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt, most definitely. And then it's like the more you learn, the more you know. It's harder to make excuses. You got to hold yourself accountable. You know better, so you know.
You got to do better.
Hmm.
You know,
So for the viewers that's
responsibility.
watching, now go
Mhm.
ahead.
No, man, I follow you, brother Ty.
Oh, I just wanted to remind them that you appeared on several Hidden Colors documentaries. I was just watching Buck Breaking. You was on there, so you
Mm.
know you done spoke with the best of the best of them. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
man. I've been in every Hidden Colors, and you know the new one's coming out. You know the one that he's working on now. You know,
Wow.
he's already put up on Instagram. He spoke to Sister Vicky Dillard, and today he spoke to brother Dr. Phil Valentine.
Mm,
And Wednesday, James Smalls and I are scheduled to go into the studio. So we're,
wow, that's
we're working
powerful.
on the next one, brother. 1526, the American Maroon.
Oh wow, that's gonna be powerful. I look forward to that. I
Yeah, man.
definitely look forward to that. Okay, so based on our last conversation, for the viewers who may not know, what I wanted to know more about is in Black America. A lot of times, when you ask Black Americans who they are or where they're from, you kind of get, in general, you get a variety of answers. So, have some people that say, "Well, we was already here. We didn't come over here on boats or via slavery." Then you have some people say, "Well, we from the Holy Land. We Israelites, and we not African." They make that clear. And you got some people like, "Oh, we from Africa, but we from the West Side, or we Moors." So, is it any group of people on the earth that exists independently of African people?
No. And everybody's the same. And see, I'm tripping over the fact that we're fighting over things we call ourselves. It's like if we fought over our name. Your name, Taye, my name, Kaba, Jill, Judy, John, Kwame. And we all gonna fight over our name.
Yeah.
But we're all the same person. I can't. My thing is, if you're a human being, you're an African. Now, did we use the term African? I doubt it. But it's a common term that we all can use to at least be on the same page with each other. It is also what we call a landmass. And so that becomes very important. All human beings are African. Even if you're German, even if you're from Denmark or Norway, if you're Japanese or Chinese, Slovenia, if you fast tracked your ancestry back, we'd all find ourselves in Central South America, and our ancestors would be the Twa, Mbuti, the Khoi San. 4 different names for the same people: Twa, Mbuti, Khoi San. Twa and Mbuti are more in Central Africa, the Khoi San more in South Africa. Same people.
Mm-hmm.
They are the original human family. And out of them came all of us. So whatever you call yourself, I don't care. You are Moor, okay, Moor. Okay, you are Israelite, okay, Israelite. You a Negro, okay, Negro. I don't care what you call yourself. Just understand we're all the same. Stop this nonsense. Stop it. Because it don't make no sense. We're all the same. We are from this continent that today is called Africa. All human beings. So.
Okay. Well put. Well put.
Well, that's my
Okay. So.
concept, Brother Ty.
Hmm. Okay. Now my next question was this: a lot of times we have, I guess, disagreements or different perspectives about the transatlantic slave trade. I wanted to know, what was your perspective on that? Like, do you feel like, are the numbers correct? I was watching the old video, for instance, and it was Dr. Clark on there, and he was like, it was tens of millions, and Dr. Ben backed him up. He said it was tens of millions, but you have some people that feel like that didn't happen at all, and they discount it. So I just wanted to know, what was your perspective on Africans being taken from Africa and brought to America as slaves?
My concept is they're all right. They are all correct. They were the first human beings to come to the American continent were the Twa and Mbuti. There were 5 that we have counted so far, scientifically, migrations to the American continent: North, South, Central, and the Caribbean. And the first 3 were clearly, pigment-wise, culture-wise, African. The next 2 basically were somewhat Asian, if we want to call it that. You had the Paleo-American, or the Twa and Mbuti, you had the Clovis Folsom, and you had the Algonquin, all African. Varying forms, different times they came in waves. Thousands of years separated these migrations. The next one was the Inuit, or who we call the Eskimo. And the final one was the Asian, who was invading the Mongol invasions of Asia, and they came down into Canada, Alaska, and North America. So that when you're looking at the different migrations, there are some of us that I am sure have the original Paleo-American blood in us, but also those who were stolen from Africa post 1492 are also here. So we have to understand the waves of Africans. So everybody's right. And I'm watching them argue over each other, and I'm saying, but you're all right. Yes,
Right.
there is African blood that is the original human being, the Twa Mbuti, that we have inherited, not just from the Africans that were here, but from Native Americans who inherited the African legacy when they came here. Cherokee, Choctaw, Arapaho, Apache. Okay, they have black blood in them, but don't forget there were black people here that don't look like the people that claim to be Native Americans. They look more like you and I.
Right.
Okay, but the wave of Africans that came post 1492 also happened, and Africans were enslaved. There is a history of that. And I think we're getting it twisted, and we're losing our African minds when we are historically off point by trying to make it seem like that enslavement didn't exist. It existed. It's just the way it is. That's history. But that's not to take away from the other waves of Africans that came. There were waves of Africans during the 1300s that left West Africa and came to America. The first human beings to come to America did not come via
Are you still there? Your screen froze on me. Can you hear me, King? You might have to come out and come back in. It might be your connection. Yeah, I can't hear you or see you. Oh yeah, that's
brother. I'm coming back.
oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, man. I'll always come back. This happens sometimes, brother. I'll always reboot or do whatever I have to do to come back. So know that I'm aware when I've been cut.
Oh,
But the point, to pick up from where we left off, brother, we have got to be very clear, even to the point that you speak about what do we call ourselves? What are we? Are we this? Are we that? The same is true is what happened to us as a people. I mean, did we come in the original years? I mean, there's evidence of Africans here that go back 100,000 years. There's evidence of a black woman in San Diego, California. Her bones dated 90 to 80,000 years ago.
man.
So, we have to understand that we all have to sit down and share information. And instead of arguing with each other over who's right and who's wrong, let's put our information on the table and as a group come to a consensus of at least the science of what's going on and stop fighting amongst ourselves, particularly when some of us exhibit deep ignorance in terms of where we're coming from and why we're saying what it is that we're saying, because our children are watching us. And we must conduct ourselves in a way that they respect us. But we must act respectfully to get respect from them. And I believe we have to have open conversations and respect and love each other enough to let everybody's information go out there, and don't put somebody down because they may not think like you.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So
Indeed,
that I think
indeed.
that in answer to both of your questions, what I'm trying to do is show the roundabout way that we can begin to look at ourselves and to be able to respond to ourselves in ways that it makes sense.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah, that kind of goes into my next question. I wanted to talk a little bit about the African presence in Asia. We had spoke a little bit about that, about the Africans that went into the Philippines, and they would call them Negritos, or
Yes.
the I forget what the other name was.
Yeah, I knew.
I knew, right.
AINU is one of the names, particularly in Japan. But again, these are Twa and Mbuti people, short statured, maybe three foot
Same
eight,
people.
same exact people. They peopled the planet. There was a time that the only people on the planet were the Twa and Mbuti people. There was nobody else on the planet but them. Wasn't no Europeans. There were no Asians. There was just the short statured Twa and Mbuti that came out of the one of the final phases of the ascendancy of who we call Homo sapiens sapiens, the sixth level of the human form. And out of the end came this family, Twa and Mbuti Khoisan. And these individuals coming out of that began to intellectualize and began to think on higher levels about 120,000 years ago.
Mm,
And by about 100,000 years, they were all over the planet. Within 20,000 years, they had peopled the planet. And that's
yeah,
who you
most
see
definitely.
from continent to continent.
Right. And these people are still there. I've been to the Philippines. I lived in South Africa. They still dark skin, brown
Oh, yeah.
skin, curly hair.
You've seen them?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. You're saying that you've seen them, right?
Yes.
That's who they are. That's the original
Yeah.
people. They still amongst us. And there are African Americans that look like them.
Yeah.
I knew a brother was a martial artist. This brother was bad, but he was all of about 4'2", perfectly proportioned. But this brother was good in martial arts. But he is who we would consider to be an African American.
Oh, wow.
He has the blood. I think Sammy Davis Jr. was Twa Mbuti. When you look at a short statured person, many times they have the blood of the Twa Mbuti. That's just genetics, brother. And it's science. And
Yeah.
that's why, Brother Ty, I try to stay in science and I stay away from emotion. You know, I ain't trying
Hmm.
to work people's nerves up. I'm trying to drop the science so that you can go and do the research so that when you go into a room or if you're in a situation or in a setting where you say something and someone challenges you, I want you to be able to present your information and shut that room down. Because I know how to shut a room down. And the
Oh
way you
yeah,
shut
no
them
doubt.
down is science, brother. Science. You just drop the science on them. They'll still try to get you emotional. They'll try to pull you in to get emotional. They'll maybe call you a name or say that you're ignorant or something like that. Because when they pull you into the emotion of it and you move away from the science, they've won. Okay, but I just, my thing is, okay, we're having fun here, children. When you decide to get mature and have an adult conversation, let me know. I'm just going to sit here and wait for you to get some kind of sense. That's how I handle people that try to get emotional with me, because you can't go get emotional with them, because then it's going to knock you off your game. And when you're knocked off your game, then they can defeat you because they live in emotion. And they're hoping to pull you into the pit of emotion. But when you stay on top and you stay science and you drop the science of what it is that you're saying, which is what I'm trying to give to the community, this is what my webinars are about. My quick webinars on Tuesday. There's one coming up tomorrow on the Kush Kemetic scientific method. Same scientific method we use today in science is the same exact that they got from our ancestors. And I'm going to show you the Medunetta that demonstrates that through the work of Dr. Theophilio Beng. I'm going to show you what it looked like. Because I'm tired of
Wow.
playing with these people, Ty. We have to get serious. I'm watching our children. I've been with them for a while. I have my finger on the pulse of the children. And the children are confused. And they can tend to get emotional, but they really need to learn. And nothing wrong with emotion. But anger is emotion out of control. Passion is emotion in control. So you get angry, everybody gets fluffed up, and everybody's moving every which way. But what have you resolved? Keep it. Get that passion. Feel the passion. But don't get angry. You will never be productive in anger, but you can be productive in passion. Anger destroys. Passion builds.
Wow, wow. Truly words of wisdom. Words of wisdom. All right. So my next question, and I know the questions they kind of along the same lines, so I know you already broke it down, but I think in the what was it, 2020, we had our vice president, we had Kamala Harris running, and a lot of people was like, is she black? Is she not black? Her mom is from India. Indians are some of the darkest people on the planet. So I just wanted to know your perspective on that, because some people say, well, they're not black because they have a pointy nose or because their hair is straight. And as close as India is to Africa, and the history that they share is not common knowledge. A lot of people are not familiar with it, but I just wanted to know your perspective on that.
Our ancestor, Runoko Rashidi, visited the community where Kamala Harris's mother came from. They're black. They're black. The texture of your hair in no way relates to who you are as a person. There have been people of African descent that have had wavy to curly, even some straight hair. You go to Australia, you'll see it. That has nothing to do with being African. That has to do with the sebum, which is an oily, waxy substance in your hair follicle, and your position to where the sun is. The shape of your nose has nothing to do. There are certain markers that show the original human family. And that is the prognathic jaw, the jaw that juts out. It's the brow ridge. It's the nasal index, the width of your nose. And it's your prognathic jaw. They have things called a craniometric machine where they put skulls in and measure the skull, and they can tell you if it's an African. So that Kamala Harris is a black woman, period. India was formed when Kushites went there. Ganges, the river was named after Ganges, the general. He was a Kushite. These same Kushites were now going to travel over, and they brought South Koreans onto the islands, and that's who the Japanese people are. They're a mixture of the original black people, the Twa, Ainu. They are Kushites, and they are Korean, who are people who have been impacted by the Ice Age. That is who Japanese are. But the Kushites, the Africans, migrated to this part of the world in Pakistan and in what we call India. We had Africans in Afghanistan. So that, see, brother, this is what I mean by emotion. Okay? I support anybody black doing anything black. No matter how you may feel about Kamala Harris's politics, the impact that she had on young African-American women, because she saw herself as a black woman. She has never said anything else. She has embraced her Indian heritage. Her father is Jamaican. It doesn't make a difference to me. But you see, when you've been around children and you live in a children's world, as I have for all these years, your perspective changes. The amount of young African-American women that were so proud of Kamala Harris, for that alone, it was worth it. She married to a man of European descent. I mean, I care. It's not my business. No matter how we feel about Tiger Tiger, yeah, Tiger Williams, right?
Tiger Woods.
Sorry about that. Tiger Woods. I had the W right. Tiger Woods, right?
It's all good.
Collaboration and all that. Okay, I understand that. Okay, we get personal and things like that. I understand. But the impact that Tiger Woods had on young African American perspective or prospective golfers was enormous. Same thing with the Venus and Serena Williams. The impact that they had on young women like Naomi Osaka or the next young lady that's into playing tennis. See, my thing is I belong to a very special club. Has a long title. A lot of people claim to belong to the club, but they really don't. They just say they do. And the name of my club is I Mind My Own Damn Business. Because the day I started minding my own damn business was the day I came to realize how much damn business I had to mind. Brother Ty, I can't see how so many people can spend so much of their time in other people's business. I wish I had more hours in a day, more days in a week. If I would have lived 3 lifetimes and each lifetime was 150 years, I'd still have work to do on my 4th lifetime. I just don't get into other people's business, personal business, because I'm too busy focused on the children and what we have to do for them. We have a lot of work we have to do, Brother Ty. We don't have time to be fighting amongst ourselves right now. We have to change our mindset. Who cares? You call Negro, Moor, N-word, Hebrew, Israelite, Christian, Muslim. I don't care. Whatever you want to call yourself, I'll call you. If that's how you want to be referenced, that's how I'll call you. But just understand, I don't see no difference between you and me. I may not be what you call yourself, but I am what the Creator called us. And they called us to do some work here. And I think we're wasting time. We're procrastinating. And procrastination is the thief of time. The most precious thing you have, Brother Ty, because you're a young brother. Let me tell you, brother, the most precious thing you have, if people could understand this, then they'd understand a lot of other things. Tomorrow's my birthday. In the 68 years that I have been alive, brother, tomorrow will be 68 years, starting my 69th. The one thing I've learned, which is the most important thing that each of us should learn, is the most precious thing you have is time. And how you spend it, you can lose your entire wealth, but you can make more money. Your house can burn down, but you can buy another house. That goes for everything else. The one thing you can't get back is November 14th, 2021. And how you spent yesterday determines how you spent your time. Spend it wisely. Don't waste it. Be forever moving forward and never backwards. The number one thing Black folk got to do is we got to stop fighting amongst ourselves. Every place that I have seen the overtaking of an African society, before those Indo-Europeans get into Africa, there's something that I notice about African people. They're fighting amongst themselves. You can go back to Kush, Kemet. You can go back to the enslavement period. You can go back to the Moors. They were fighting amongst themselves. And that's how Castile and Aragon was able to come in and throw them out. We did it sometimes on the plantation. We did it during the civil rights movement. And we're doing it even now. And the one thread that connects all these thousands of years is we fighting amongst ourselves. And then we got divide and conquer. We have to unite. Stop fighting amongst ourselves. We don't have to agree. It's all right. You don't agree with me. But that disagreement should not make us disagreeable. I can see a Hebrew Israelite, a Muslim, a Christian, a Rosicrucian, a Buddhist, an agnostic, an atheist, a Zoroastrian, and I could see someone think like me. We all could be at the table and we could come up with a solution for the issue of our people and not let whatever ism that creates our schisms defeat what it is that we're trying to do.
Oh man, indeed. First and foremost, happy birthday. We happy to have you, man, for so
No
long.
doubt.
Yeah, you know
No
what I'm saying?
doubt.
Keep up the great work. But I can kind of, attest to what you're saying because I've been to about 70 countries all around the world. So I lived in South Africa. So you would think, how can 10% rule the 90%? That 10%, they together. But the other 90 is Zulu and Xhosa, and Nigerian, Kenyan, people from Zimbabwe. Then you got the Indian population. Then you got another group of people called colored. They another black group of people, and they all kind of at odds with each other. They're not working together. So that 10%, they got the land, they got the businesses, they got the money, but you just see it all around.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's the same way here.
Man.
We got Puerto Rican, we got Dominican, we got Jamaican, we got Haitian, we got African American, and look at us. We don't realize that we're one and the same people. Spanish is to Puerto Ricans what English is to me. And it's only by matter of degree as it relates to how the geographic location dealt with the intermingling of the different groups, be it African, indigenous, and European. And there are some that lean more towards the European, like in Cuba, even though Cuba is 78% black. When you go to Brazil, the great majority is black. But Portuguese is the language for them, just like English is for me. So we need to create a common language that we all can speak. And I'm recommending that it be Kiswahili.
Oh man, that'd be powerful.
If I go to Brazil and my brothers and sisters are speaking Portuguese and I speak English, we should be able to speak to each other in Kiswahili. If I go to Holland and my brothers and sisters are speaking Dutch, I speak English, we should be able to speak to each other in Kiswahili. And why Kiswahili? All African languages are pure and wonderful. But let's be practical. Practical. Kiswahili is the largest African language spoken in the world. It is the 7th largest language spoken in the world. We already have celebrations using Kiswahili, like Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
They already have language programs that teach Kiswahili. And if you want to know one, go to abibitumi.com. They teach Kiswahili. They teach Meduneta. Meduneta must become our classical language, just like Greek is Western classical language. They don't speak the classical Greek, but it is the language of the Western world, just like medicine and law uses Latin. How many times last year did we hear the term quid pro quo? Quid pro quo. Okay, this for that. Quid pro quo. This for that. People saying quid pro quo. What does that mean? Why is anybody using Latin today? Well, it's in medicine and it's in law. It's a classical language for them. Meduneta hieroglyphics must become our classical language. And Kiswahili should become our practical spoken language around the world.
Man, that would be powerful, man. If we could just get on code with that one thing, man, that would shift so much stuff for us.
Oh, yeah. I mean, think about going to Nigeria and go to West, Yoruba land. And they speak Yoruban. You speak English, but you can speak to each other in Kiswahili. You know what kind of power you got there?
Yeah, definitely. Because I'm the type of person when I see black people, I'll be wanting to speak to them. Like, "What's up, brother?" But they in the airport, they might speak French or might speak Yoruba.
Yeah,
So sometimes you can just give them the head nod. You can't really conversate with them. So.
yeah. And we just look at each other, man. No matter where we from, we know what that look is.
Right.
That nod, what that nod means. I recognize you. I
Yeah.
respect you. Ra, in the light of the creator, spect means to look. Respect means to look at a person with the respect of the creator.
No doubt. Yeah, yeah. So I appreciate you, King, man. We in the 35-minute mark. It's truly an honor. Keep up the great work. Happy birthday again. Before we get out of here, just please tell the viewers again about the website and all of the
Yeah,
wonderful and amazing and educational things that you offer and any projects or anything that you got coming up and how we can support.
absolutely. Well, family, I have my website. My website is www.kabakamene.com. KABAKAMENE. Kabakamene.com. And it's in my website that I have my free e-course and study guide. Study guide is the most important document I have. That's why it's free. 44 pages. It's an outline. My teacher, Dr. Clark, used to always say that you may not get to your destination, but if you leave the proper roadmap, those that come behind you will continue and they will get there. And so this study guide is my roadmap. It is the outline of my life's work as to where I see myself going. The free e-course is a 6-day e-course dealing with my second book called Spirituality Before Religions. My first book was honoring the architect of the African Studies program, Professor William Leo Hansberry. I paid homage, intellectual libation to him because he really represents that individual that I've modeled my work after. He was a curriculum writer, he was a college professor, and he developed staff. And that's what I do. My second book, Spirituality Before Religions, because I was trying to get us to understand that spirituality is unseen science and science is seen spirituality. And then my third book is Shabaka Stone, an African theory on the origin and continuing development of the cosmic universe. Because once you understand the heavens, you'll understand the earth. When you understand the earth, you'll understand yourself. There's a pattern in the tabernacle, as above, so below. As it is in the heavens, so is it on earth. You can get my books on Amazon, Amazon. That's the easiest way to get them, is on Amazon. You can Google my name, Kaba Hiawatha Kamene, or the titles, William Leo Hansberry, Spirituality Before Religions, or Shabaka's Stone. My Instagram page at Kaba Kamene, Kabakamene, is like my bulletin board. I use that as my community bulletin board. I let folk know what I'm going to do, where I'm going, what I'm about to do. The webinars that I do every Tuesday, dealing with educational methodology, I put them up on my Instagram site, in my bio, in my link. It's also on my website. You can get them from my website. And my webinars, I'm going to start doing one. I'm going to be doing one on Friday. Since we're going to be celebrating Misgiving Day, everybody's getting ready to get that turkey and all the rest of that stuff. And while I do understand that I call it misgiving, but I do believe that we have something to give thanks for. And coming out of what we talked about, the Paleo-Americans and the first Africans in America, I felt that we should give thanks because somewhere in us is the genes of that Paleo-American. That is our story. We don't have to run from it. Celebrate it, know it, be it. And so starting every third Friday of the month, I'm going to begin to do a second webinar. This is going to be on ancient America. I got a whole series on ancient America. We're going to go deep into ancient America. I'm going to show you some things about ancient America. I studied with Dr. Van Sertima in Mexico in the summer of 1984.
Wow.
So I'm not coming with just what I've read. I'm coming to you with what I saw. One of my good friends, Runoko Rashidi, now an ancestor, he has done phenomenal work in America dealing with the African presence. And the first Sunday of every month, I do a webinar that relates to a chapter in my book, Shabaka Stone. And I've been doing something on DNA, and I promise you, Brother Taye, into the family, this next webinar I'm about to do, December 5th, I believe the date is, the first Sunday, is going to be on Henrietta Lacks. Okay, you got to know who she is and what she shows us about who we are as a Black people and what melanin, the power of melanin. I'm going to show you what her cells look like. Listen, they took cells from her in 1951. She was 31 years of age. They took cells from her. Those cells still live today. And not only are they still living, Brother Taye, they're multiplying. And nobody knows how that's happening. But I do. Melanin. Melanin has the property of eternal reproduction. And we're going to talk about that during the DNA. The last, because you can always get the replay. If you go to my website or if you go to my link, you can always get the one that I did in November, which was on DNA. I wanted to do the science of what deoxyribonucleic acid was. I wanted to lay out the foundation of that science so that when we get into Henrietta Lacks, I'm going to show you some things that you will know from having watched the other DNA webinar. But the third webinar in this series in January 2nd, is going to deal with Dr. Mae Jameson, because Dr. Mae Jameson took the HeLa cells, which is Henrietta Lacks. She took Henrietta Lacks's cells into space.
Wow.
And did experiments on a bone density in zero gravity when you start to float. See, this is the science of it, Brother Taye. This is what's going to shut down the room. This is what we need to teach our children. We got to understand who we are and why they do what they do to us, because they fear us. They don't hate us. Hate is the result of the fear they have of us, which is false evidence appearing real. We have to get serious about it. We have to get serious, Brother Taye. And I do want to thank you, my brother Uhuru, for making this possible. Thank you for extending this invitation to me. I appreciate, brother. And I respect you, and I'm proud of the work that you're doing. And I look forward to the future, brother. You keep doing what you're doing, enlightening the people, talk to the people. Keep smiling at them.
Likewise, King. So thank you, everybody.
A lot of pain, and our people are in pain by matter of degree, and we got to make them understand, not only can you do this, but just the fact that you're still alive, you doing it. So just keep on doing it. Keep on keeping on. It ain't over till we win. Solar power is the future wealth of our planet. And isn't it interesting that everywhere where the sun shines the brightest, the people are the most melanated? It's like the Creator gave us wealth in our backyard. Say, just do with it what you want, but just follow the laws of nature and Ma'at.
Indeed.
All power to the people, Brother Taye.
Right, all power to the people. Man, you blow them away, King. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. There's been another episode of Taye Speaks. Until next time, family. Peace.